You're
Oh,
alive.
we're live! Oh, this is
Hello.
very exciting. Okay, all right.
Rachel, would you like to do your introduction first?
Okay, my name is Rachel Chuirc, and I'm a Legion author. And yes, I'm here to talk about my upcoming book, Knights of Eternity. But more importantly, I'm here to get drunk. Jack.
It is I, Jack Fields, author of the upcoming debut novel Scarlet Citadel, the first of a trilogy of novels. I'm also with Legion, and Brian is saying drink. He's also with Legion, so we have to do what he says.
No, I haven't. All right. So here's the thing, Brian, since you are the only one here so far, you get to pick. We were supposed to drink whiskey. I didn't have any. So am I going to drink this rum that is dusty, that has moved with me twice? Or am I going to drink something called Metaxa? I don't know where I got this. It says it's a Greek spirit. So chat, which am I drinking? Am I drinking dusty rum or am I drinking Metaxa? Whoever gets in first, dusty rum. Okay, Brian got there first.
Yep, perfect.
So it's dusty rum with a shot glass that
Dusty
I absolutely did not steal.
It sounds like the name of like an aging feminine pirate captain.
Jesus Christ.
I'm Dusty Rum and I'm ready to fight. It's Greek and horrible. Lars.
Sorry, Lars. Brian got there first, unfortunately, because that rum is vile. But we're gonna roll with it. So, Jack, do you want to explain your amazing idea for this takeover?
Here's the thing, gang. Myself and Rachel were deranged, and we're willing to do an awful lot for the sake of entertainment, including self-humiliation, self-flagellation, really. What we're going to do is we're going to read sections from our novels. Rachel from Knights of Eternity, me from Scarlet Citadel. We've got so we know each other's work reasonably well, so we can recognize certain prompts. Rachel did dress up with this. She looks fantastic.
Yeah, fuck you, Brian. Carry on, Jack.
And we've given each other little prompts. Rachel, would you like to read your section first, or what are you?
Sure, but I want you to tell people what my prompts are first. What are my hints for? Oh, holy shit! Yeah, this is a Rachel. This is a Rachel book. What are my kind of giveaways?
So, Rachel, when I encounter your work, I expect a few things.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I expect one character who's a cold-hearted dickhead.
Yes. Yeah.
And who is very compelling for that reason. Number two, I expect colorful, insanely potent adjectives.
That's a nice way of saying I love using the word like insert simile.
But I also expect creatures with that intonation, not creatures. I expect some strange things, some wonderful things. This is from your work in games writing as well. Like, you are a very rich designer of the macabre, the twisted, and so having taken a look at your work, I've chosen a creature that features. I have chosen the creatures that feature, and when these creatures feature, that's when you feature big old drinkies.
Okay.
Glorious.
All right. Should we get cracking?
Is it a case of we self-edit on this? Like every time it happens, you yourself are going to drink?
No, Brian has you on that one. Have a sip. We don't want to kill you just yet. Just have a sip.
Okay. I'm drinking Glenfiddich for the Winnie. Oh my God, it's like drinking a forest fire. Rachel, I'm going to keep you honest, but you will self-audit, but I'm going to keep you honest.
Okay, do yell.
Yeah, you got it.
I think that's fair, Ryan. I think that's a new prompt we're going to add. On that note, fuck off, Brian. Right. So I will start. This is from the opening of Knights of Eternity. It moved slow and languid. Civilizations rose and fell like the tide. Yeah, that's one. Stars exploded with life, then vanished into the void. Yet the entity remained chained and bound. It took an eternity to shift its manacles, even minutely. But the entity was patient. It had time, if nothing else. The twin suns of Bala and Gaj hung in the sky, the prisons of its former lieutenants. At first glance, impenetrable light bound them, but the entity's keen eye could see cracks of darkness forming, the quiet and inevitable heralds of freedom. The entity unhinged its gaping maw, greedily inhaling the slivers of power it stole, like a thief in the night. Oh, Jesus. It was slow, painful work. Yet the entity was calm, it was determined, it was patient. It would shatter the prison, inch by painful inch. Soon it would return. Soon it would be free. Change scene! That's not a line. Okay, it's fine. Valerius watched the knights fight for their lives, one hand resting on the hilt of his sword, his expression schooled in calm indifference. Is that a drink, or do we wait? Is that a drink? Is that a...
You're okay. We'll let you off this
Well,
time.
well, let me off. Okay. The scenery on any other day would be impressive. They were at the edge of a coastal village Valerius had already forgotten the name of. The noonday sun was high and hot, near stifling beneath his heavy ivory armor. Yet, despite the heat, the crashing sea that struck the rock face was cold in its fury, each wave threatening to drag down those foolish enough to get too close. He smacked his lips, relishing the salty spray. Inhaling the bite of the briny sea, he leaned over the cracky precipice, taking care to remain hidden. The ground below was treacherous at the best of times. Sea spray and clinging lichen made the rocks slippery, while grifferpods the size of Valerius's palm lay coiled beneath graying seaweed, ready to jam their poison needles into unsuspecting feet. While the poison was weak and the sharpened tip would cause you to stumble at best, a single misstep could be the difference between life or death in a fight, especially against a pack of Pyrians. Valerius had always been fascinated by the amphibians. 5 large horns curled out from their faces like keratin flowers.
Drink.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jesus, it's worse every time. While their thick, powerfully built legs... Oh, did I say like seaweed? Graying seaweed. No, I didn't. Fuck you, Brian. Drink, Jack. Keratin flowers, while their thick, powerfully built legs and whip-like tails made their attacks as vicious as they were elegant. They didn't kill, they slaughtered, cutting down those who threatened them with a brutal efficiency Valerius admired. The light from the blistering sun caught the shifting and twisting scales on Pyrian's body, making him wince. While beautiful, it was their iridescent scales that made them the scourge of any blade. Moving with Pyrian's body, they left only hairline gaps most warriors struggled to pierce. But the gilded knights were not most warriors. Oh, I did mention a creature. Fuck.
Oh, I think in this case, it's if a creature dies. Oh, brutal Facebook user. Unintentional drink.
Fuck. 3 of the beasts surrounded Mardo, a giant of a man who towered over the pony-sized Pyrians. Tightly curled dark hair was tamed by thick braids that trailed down his back. His leather brigadine was cut off at the shoulders, allowing his bare arms free movement as he drew his iconic dual axes. As the first Pyrian lunged for Marito, a purple viscous fluid dripping from its serrated fangs, Valerius idly summoned the menu. Is that a drink?
No, I think it's just great.
Everything? You're very kind. I thought you were going to be way fucking meaner. Okay. Every time you're in... Sorry, because I'm not looking at the comments because I'm reading.
Actually, Rachel, yeah, you were in doubt. You needed a drink, so you got a drink.
That's true. There you go. Visible to his eyes only, the translucent interface rimmed by a gold border appeared in the air before him. He mentally skipped past his inventory, the infinite space near bulging at the seams from the sheer wealth of elixirs, weapons, and armor he collected over the years. He paused briefly on the quest tab. A quiet rage flared in his chest at the sight of his current objective, and he had to take several steadying breaths. He would complete his mission, just like all the others. He simply had to be patient. Finally, he landed on his desired page, the bestiary. Bestiary, Pyrian. A rare, medium-sized monstrosity, Pyrians are pack-like creatures with a strict hierarchy. They're protected by a thick layer of iridescent scales that cover their entire body, but for a soft underbelly they guard fiercely. They can easily take down prey twice or even 3 times their size with the paralyzing venom in their fangs. Ah, Valerius said, as the Pyrian's jaws clamped down on open air, missing Marito's bare arm by an inch, the venom in question dripping from its jaws. That explains all the dead mercenaries before us, amateurs. He returned to the entry. I do think that's a shot.
That's a cold-hearted bastard. Take a shot.
That is. I'm going to do the whole thing because I'm a badass bitch.
Oh, you legend. Well done, Rachel.
Oh, that was vile. He returned to the entry. Bestiary. Despite their ferocity, Pyrians generally have mild temperaments and will often move onto new territory rather than enter combat to defend it. Valerius scoffed, thinking of the 15 dead men left in the Pyrian's wake. Marito roared, driving an axe into the skull of the snapping Pyrian, the blade cutting through the bone like soft cheese. I knew that was coming.
It's a great one, by the way. So good.
You're very kind. I'm glad I went first, because then by the time it gets to you, I'm going to be too drunk to notice if you fucking got any of yours. He didn't pause. I'm going to probably stop after another half page. He didn't pause to see the creature collapse, legs twitching as neurons frantically fired in the throes of death. Instead, the giant spun, flinging one of his axes off to his right, far from the Pyrians he fought. He grabbed another beast with his bare hand, slamming the creature into the rock beneath. The stone cracked as it gave way, tendrils spreading like cobwebs as the Pyrian skull collapsed. That was a drink, wasn't it?
Yes.
This is I'm nice just looking at it now. Thank you, Richie. As the creature's ferocious shriek cut off, Valerius frowned. Maruto was moving quicker than usual. Surely he wasn't already using that. Valerius blinked, zoning in on Maruto as he activated Dissect. His vision shifted to black and white, the air around Maruto turning a shimmering blue as Valerius's interface focused on the giant, trying to break down his fellow knight into a quantifiable measure. Dissect activated scrolled across his vision. Scanning. There was a gentle ding as a pop-up appeared. Ability detected, heroic strength. This ability allows the user to push their body far beyond human limitations. While exceptionally powerful, it can only be used for a maximum of 60 seconds before incurring. Valerius sighed, dismissing the rest of the text. Were Pyrians all it took these days for the knight to use his famed strength? Perhaps Maruto was slipping. Had a drink. I feel like that's a drink. He's being that's a cold boy.
So good.
I'm pouring out my tax after this. Fuck you, Brian. Drink. Valerius returned to the final paragraph of the bestiary's entry on Pyrians. He ignored Maruto's grunt of pain as the dying Pyrian raked its serrated claws down his arm. Fuck. The exception to this, however, is during the first blooms of spring, when the Pyrians' young are not yet old enough to leave the confines of their dens. During this time, Pyrians will enter a violent rage should their territory be threatened. There we go, Valerius said, closing the menu with a mental flick. His eyes straight from Maruto, following the path of the axe the knight had thrown, seemingly at random, off to his right. The thrown axe quivered where it lay buried in the skull of a Pyrian that had been creeping forward, using the long shadows for cover as it stealthily moved from rock to rock. To his annoyance, Valerius had missed the hidden Pyrian entirely. The creature had been about to pounce on a slim, sallow-skinned man with ink-black hair and eyes who stood surrounded by pitch-black darkness. Da-dum! And I'm going to stop there.
Rachel, knee, Kirk, folks.
Bam! Absolutely. Let me pour my taxa so I can fucking have taste buds after this. And you can thank Jack. He picked these prompts. And I picked his. So payback is a bitch.
He certainly did. Rachel, are you cool going through them?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I'm reading a Jack text, okay, there are three things that I kind of always let me know that I'm reading something by my friend. The first is fancy words. Now, if we made him do a shot every time he'd, did a fancy word, he'd be dead by line 3. So I think... Oh, sorry, Brian, you're going to be looking up the words the, and, or. So, maybe not for Brian.
Or in this case, aloe vera.
Burn. And so we're not going to do that. So there's a fancy word. If he mentions any smells, because I think that's a very Jack thing to do. And he has to do a full shot if there's a motherfucking pun.
Okay, fancy words.
I love this. I've just seen Chrissy. Ooh, Jack is so dying. Yes, he is, Chrissy. There's a reason I picked this.
Okay,
I'm excited. Okay, I'm excited. And be honest. And if anything is a word that Jack is like, no, it's not a fancy word. And I'm like, yes, it is a fancy word. Chat, you get to decide.
Rachel, while I'm reading this and you see something come up in chat that you think needs to keep me honest.
Oh, I will yell. Oh, I will yell. Don't you worry.
I'm just going to be looking at the page, so you keep me honest. Okay. Here we go. Rachel's extract comes from the beginning of her novel, Knights of Eternity. This section from Scarlet Citadel comes in a fair way through with our primary villains, Miss Gleam and Mr. Glint. I hope you enjoy. Okay, here we go.
Are you going to do the voice? You're going to do the voice, right?
No, I wouldn't dream of it. Miss Gleam had just about enough. Do you go in for punitive realms, Mr. Glint?
Drink.
Nah, my digestion is tickety-boo, Miss Gleam,
replied her partner. This brought Miss Gleam up short. She took a moment to attune her mental radio to station Glint. Yes, I suspect you misheard me, noble fellow, she said slowly. Punitive realms, not prunative realms. Okay.
Okay. No,
Full
you
stop.
have to do two. Punitive, fancy word. Prunative
Okay.
is also a pun. So that's
you're
that's
right.
two.
You're right.
Lars has you called. Yeah.
Little drink for punitive.
Little drink for punitive. Agreed.
Full shot for prunative.
Fuck yeah. Brian, I'm sorry. You are in your hole. Sorry.
Oh,
You're fucking delighted.
Oh, Glenfiddich for the winnie. Not prunative rounds.
I wondered.
Mr. Glint was watching a few bats wheel across the lightning-scorched face of the storm. Little drink for that.
Little drink.
Those were Corinth City bats up there, evolved to withstand much worse than a little pissant of a tempest such as this. Scenic view, all things considered, yet he wished they would wheel closer. Mr. Glint rather liked bat. Their wings were stuffed with the very crunchiest of bones.
Depends then,
he said.
What's the punitive realm, Miss Gleam?
In this case, my compeer in mutilation, mayhem, and murder. Shit.
You have to like several sips. Like to take it good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Agreed. Yeah. Agreed.
The term punitive realms refers to a place where people who have done naughty things go after they depart this mortal coil. It is their just comeuppance. In other words, it is a place in which the many transgressions of life are met upon death. Met, that is, with the lash, the corkscrew nail, the flaying knife, the fiery tongs, the icy pincers.
Give us an example.
With pleasure. The old church's conception of hell is such a place.
What?
said Glint.
Pitchforks and that.
They certainly feature, old boy. They certainly feature. Did he go in for such places? Mr. Glint pondered. Given his cognitive faculties, this process took...
Cognitive.
Yep.
Cognitive, yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll drink
Given
with you in
his
solidarity.
Faculties. This process took quite some time. Meanwhile, Miss Gleam paced to keep from gnawing the inside of her cheek raw. She'd been pacing for what felt like 74 million years, about 20 minutes, and had developed a rhythm, her crocodile leather shoes squeaking and creaking impatiently. No one in the world could pace quite like Miss Gleam. It was 1:45 in the morning, the rain was heavier than ever, and the partners were on the wide, wet rooftop of the Leopoldo Farnassi headquarters in Polydoro's district. I'm going to take a drink for...
Polydorus, I think. Good man, good man.
I mean, it's a place name, but... It counts. Even though it was shut for the night, the clean smell of men's healthcare products, notes of lavender and oak moss...
There you go, yeah.
Wafted up from the building's depths. They were waiting. Distantly, the bats dove under the Polydoros overpass, presumably returning home for a bit of pre-dawn kip. There were fewer cars at this time of night, but now and then the gloom was lit up with their passage like red-orange deck lamps on skiffs in a great strange sea.
I suppose,
said Mr. Glynn speculatively,
that I do go in for punitive realms, so long as I'm there to have a go at the puning.
Punishment.
Thanks.
That's a full shot. That was a pun. That's a full shot.
Shut. I will refill my shot glass. You fiend.
I did like puning and punishment. It was...
Here we go.
Good man. I believe in you. Oh, that's it.
Oh, God. How are we doing time-wise, Rachel? I got another minute or two.
No, yeah, you got it. Yeah. You take your time.
Okay. A few feet away, his partner paced, slowed, stopped. She looked at him, torn from her reverie, her sparkling blue hair plastered to her cheeks with rain. This next section is... I'm almost... Can we stop here? This next section's going to kill me.
Oh, do the next paragraph. Come on, do the next paragraph.
Why did I pick this? Miss Gleam is so well spoken. Conflation of the metaphysical and the personal. Oh, what use is the trumpeting of clergymen? I'm just going to take a big drink at the end.
Yeah, just take a big drink at the end. You just keep going. Yeah.
The exhausting conjecture of kings and court philosophers. Hell is nowhere but here. It goes where we go. Miss Gleam smiled at her sour-mouthed companion with a mixture of awe and approval. You know, that's rather good, old boy.
You think so?
Said Glint, pleased.
Oh, that's it.
And I think we will call it there. Ladies and gentlemen, Rachel, thank you for keeping me honest. I think we still have some time. Rachel, do you want to take some questions about the books? If we can be even vaguely coherent, it will be a miracle. Wish us luck. Any questions, gang? How you feeling, by the way, Rachel?
Slightly tipsy.
Yeah, I got you. No, fuck.
I know. See, he does the voices so well. This is why I was so glad he was doing Miss Gleam and Mr. Glint. You look like you're in physical pain. Good.
That last whack really got me, Rachel.
It's sometime next year. I don't have any details beyond that, but the first book is done. I'm working on the second book right now. So don't you worry, it is coming. But the first one, we're 99.9% on the first book. But it's there. It's coming. Don't you worry. When I have a date, I will be fucking screaming it from the rooftops. Don't you worry. Absolutely. We will do this again. We'll take it in turns.
We're the new Rachel. We're the new Wombo combo for audiobook reading, and we read everyone's books totally hammered.
That's it. Oh, done. Well, I love the ideas that you doing all these really cool voices and stuff, and I'm just Valerius was a bit grumpy in the corner.
Oh.
So yeah, my book is in edits, very, very nearly done.
Rachel, can I ask you a question?
Oh, go for it.
So we were talking about your creatures that you feature in your work. Where did the Pyrians? What was the inspiration there?
I kind of don't want to tell you.
Oh, that's mysterious, Rachel. Really want to know.
Vaporeon.
From the Pokemon Vaporeon. You're my friend, but I cast disapproval as a first level spell.
Yeah. It's very much inspired. So actually you were very close. The Mulgar are actually this is even stupider. So the Mulgar are shapeshifters in the book, right? And this is whenever people read my stuff and they very kindly give me a compliment saying oh, this is very creative. I tell them this story to let them know that I'm an idiot like everyone else. Mulgar are essentially gigantic 6-legged SUV-sized badgers. And the name Mulgar comes from mole and badger put together.
Oh, so it's one of those port man go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Lars. Oh, totally. Oh, done. But only if you tell Brian.
I'm the DM of that game.
Yeah.
Lars, Brian's gone.
Yeah.
Joel's on. Ditto.
They might make an appearance. Who knows? But yes, I'm incredibly creative. Okay, how about you, Jack? When it comes to the core. Oh yeah, we're turning this around. Okay. Yeah. How about the Corinth bats? I think you mentioned.
I love the idea that creatures and the things that live in certain ecosystems are reflective of the place. Brian, who? So in this case, Corinth City is a diseased city. It's a city that's not with plague, but with avarice and with public strife. And I like the idea of featuring different animals in that space, including the bats themselves. But also, Rachel, one of the things whenever I'm please, you're more than welcome, Richie. Or should I say?
Oh no, I think he wants to go to Brian's blackjack and hooker game, and Richie's going to be disappointed because both the blackjack and the hookers are going to be imaginary. But that's okay.
Well, Richie, each according to their own, and no accounting for taste. So the also, it's just useful for me in a particular scene to have when it features Miss Gleam and Mr. Glint to have to have some device to show just how loathsome these people are. Can we make him drink more?
Yeah.
Great.
Brian has you there.
I'm going to get you on this next time, Brian. We're going to make you drink every time Salvatore does something milquetoast. Get fucking wrecked.
Oh.
Only hashtag only stats. I think that's Richie's show.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Blackjack and hookers. Okay, well, Ryan. Again, there's no accounting for taste. A certain gentleman. Brian. Okay, well, Rachel, I have more questions for you if there's no questions.
Oh no, go for it. I love that we're getting loads of comments, but no one is actually asking any questions.
Although Richie asked the best question, which is when can I pick up your awesome
That's
book?
true, which is very kind of you, Richie.
Okay, let me think. I have a few. Rachel, when you're writing such cold, terrifying characters, how do you write them authentically? How do you keep that in your mind?
So it really helps when you're dead inside. And I mean, Sinead coming in with the kill shot.
Yeah. Sinead 180 no scoping Brian there.
Fucking hell. It helps when you're dead inside. But it also does help when every single time when I write, I try to think of like who they are, why they're doing this. I hate when characters are evil for the sake of being evil. And I say this as someone who does have a stereotypical villain in there, but there's a lot more backstory as things go on. And I think that's where it comes from. I know terrible people in my life who at their heart are not actually bad people.
Interesting.
And I think that's part of it. It's like people who make very terrible choices out of fear or anger. And I think it's like connecting back to that. Like, where does that come from? And this is great. I love when you ask questions first because I can copy you. But when you do, especially because like Miss Gleam and Mr. Glint are a really interesting kind of dynamic duo because they're very villainous. But what I like about them is they very clearly care about each other, which is not something you see very often in kind of very villainous characters. And was that a very purposeful choice or?
Yes, God, you're fantastic. That's exactly what I was going for. That's an enormous.
Oh, go me! I get a drink for that. Oh, I spilled it.
Well, actually, do you know what we'll do? We'll end by cheersing and taking one more drink.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for saying that. I wanted to, when I write any characters, I want to ground them in relationships.
Yeah.
I think often our view of a character we meet in a novel can be defined by the people around them. What people say about them in the book can actually inform our own opinion. And I love the idea of villains who get on as well as our heroes, or maybe even better. I think there's a richness and organicness to that just makes them so real. Thank you for saying that, though, Rachel. It's a huge compliment. Did we get a question from? I love melodrama.
Oh, yes. I like Lara's question. Go on.
Do I have a past with theatre of some sort?
No, he's never done it in his life. No, look at him. That man has never been on a stage.
It's true. I think I was in proximity to one once and I just developed hives. Lars knows I'm a theatre kid. He's being a galvanic little hedgehog and I frankly adore him. Brian, I'm just looking at the that's very kind.
Wait, Brian actually gave us a compliment? Are you ill?
Well, he's right. Your characterization is magical.
Oh, and your world building is god tier. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Fuck you, Brian.
No, fuck you, Brian. I'll drink Jack.
No, it's galvanic. Damn it, me. You're right. Rachel, I think we're almost out of time.
No, we got permission from the Queen herself to go like a few minutes over if we need to. So if we need another minute, so please answer Lars' question first.
Oh, the melodramatic. Well, Lars, I love Lord of the Rings, and Peter Jackson's movies are big emotions, big payoffs, big threats. So I love that, but always think there's a place for subtlety when it comes to other people's work and my own. Love a bit of subtext. even though some people like Quentin Tarantino think that subtext is for cowards.
Subtext is sweet, right?
Subtext is sweet?
Feet.
For Tarantino, it is.
Yeah, that's just if there's feet, that's subtext.
And Rachel, it's also for Richie. Richie apparently loves when you exactly. Do you see the banner below?
Oh no, I summoned it. Shit.
Well done, Rachel. Well done. Brian asks, when will we read Quest Academy? Weed. When will we
I'm reading it.
Rachel's reading it, and Brian, I don't know when you remember your spells in D&D. Brian is a great D&D player. I'm sorry.
Oh, Damien.
Oh, Rachel, if Valerius, no, actually, if Marito was a D&D character, what class would he be?
Oh my god, he'd be the big, hulking, cheerful, joyful Labrador barbarian. He would be running around, yelling at everyone, and like, you know that guy you meet that's just like constantly cheerful, talks like an old school kind of guy. Like, this is a guy who will sincerely walk up to you and say, "How farest thou?" and mean it with every ounce of his fucking being. And that is exactly what I wanted to bring with Marito. And so, yeah, he'd be the big, cheerful barbarian. And the second actual shit goes down, the facade drops because he's just a theatrical kind of guy, and he's someone you'd want at your back. Well, Brian, look, if you're very, very fucking nice to me, and maybe if you give me another compliment, I might give up my space and let you back in. I'm just saying.
Michael, Wandering Warrior Judge by Michael.
I have also bought Judge. It's also on my read list.
Well, Michael's got skill and talent, so I'll definitely read his novel. I'm gonna take a little drink for that one.
I think you should. An altar boy for his church. Am I the altar boy? What? Oh, it's Brian. Oh, that's better. Okay, that's fine.
Alex.
Brian can be the altar boy. That's fine.
Baby steps. Let's have to read something good first. Oh.
Wait, but Brian, then why am I reading Quest Academy? I'm teasing. Oh my god, don't kick me out.
I think you've earned a dab
Quest
for that
Academy.
one. You've definitely earned a dab for that one. Or actually a little drinky.
Wait, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I lost my headphones.
The headphones.
Fuck. That's what I got for fucking dabbing. Okay. Sorry, I can just see Brian threatening to put me in the bin.
Also, the banner for Richie is
It's still going. Oh fuck. Okay. We should probably, because we have gone a tiny bit over.
We can wrap up.
And we need to let Geneva go and like eat.
Rachel, would you like to do the plug one more time?
Oh yes. So my name is Rachel Chuirc. My book, Nights of Eternity, is coming out sometime next year. It's in edits right now, and I hope all of you love it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Scarlet Citadel. My novel, Jack Fields, is going to come out.
Your novel isn't called Jack Fields.
Here's the thing, Rachel. Here's the thing. This is Glenfiddich, and it's for Winnie. The novel Scarlet Citadel, written by me, Jack Fields, is going to come out when it's ready, and I'm terribly excited for it and for Rachel's novel, You Legend.
Okay, shot, then bye. Okay, here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh
my god.
Yep.
Oh fuck.
Bye everyone.
Okay,
thanks
bye.
for tuning in. Legends. Bye.
That was fun. Fuck my life.